priority anymore, and that's the whole basis for the America First platform, making us the only priority, once again, of our own government, which shouldn't be a partisan issue, by the way, but it shows really that Democrats are trying to destroy this country and don't even view this place as a nation anymore, so I guess it is. But having said that, I do think it's interesting you bring up the endorsement of the people, because that's what we saw at McDonald's in Pennsylvania last Sunday, right? We saw the American voters coming out to say, I want Trump. He's actually showing us. He's not telling us he cares about us. He's showing us with his actions that he understands us, he loves us deeply, and he's willing to fight for us. And he's even willing to take a bullet to the ear for us. So I really hope that people going into Election Day can clearly see the contrast between the politician who just throws empty promises at you, Kamala Harris, and the man who has a proven track record of risking his life for your freedom, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a clear contrast. When President Trump, as he often says, did not have to get involved. He didn't have to get involved in politics. He had a great life, right? He was a very successful businessman. He had a successful TV show. He got involved because he wanted to save this country. He wanted to put America first. He wanted to fight for America. And that's what he's continuing to do. In the face of all of these different witch hunts, all the assassination attempts, all of these fake investigations, the weaponization of the DOJ against President Trump, in the face of all of this, he is still fighting for this country. He's still fighting for the American people. And we're seeing the American people step up and join him in this fight for America by making that plan to vote, being part of this movement to save America. That's the foundation of what's going to save this country, the American people stepping up. And I think you're exactly right to point out that a lot of these liberal Democrats aren't affected by their policies. That's why they must support them, because they're not affected when when grocery prices go up. They have oftentimes their own private security, so they're all fine with defunding the police. But the American people suffer the consequences, and the American people are speaking up now. They're saying enough is enough. We can't afford 4 more years of the absolutely terrible Harris-Biden administration.
Absolutely not. You know, there was a report that just came out this morning. We spend at least $150 billion on migrants and illegal immigrants just in 2023 alone. Think about what we could do for the American people with that kind of money. And they're getting that money from, in some cases, police departments, FEMA. They're literally gutting services for taxpayers to accommodate illegals. And Kamala Harris endorses all of it, and she made this all possible. She manufactured this situation. And so now she's asking for a promotion. And it's so easy. It's a no-brainer to say absolutely not. Absolutely not. What she has done to this country is treasonous. It is completely treasonous, and it should be criminal. So I think the contrast going into November is so totally clear. It really is a slam dunk no-brainer. So hopefully we'll continue to see this surge. The poll data is looking really good. I'm very optimistic. I've already made my plan to vote, and I hope everybody out there has as well.
100%. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to, making that plan to vote. And I think when we look at the polls, we look at the early vote numbers, the worst possible thing someone can do is say, we've got this in the bag. That's the worst possible thing. We have to have momentum. We have to go into this saying, everyone's got to vote. We've got to make sure every single friend and family member has to get out and vote. We have to make this too big to rig. SwampTheVote.com, SwampTheVoteUSA.com, making sure that we make that plan to vote. Get out to vote. Don't look at the polls and say, we've got this. Look at the polls and say, I'm going to join this team, make my plan to vote, and make sure we send President Trump to the White House.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Very well said. And, of course, Tommy, we appreciate your time, as always.
Thanks for having me on.